Very good afternoon to all of you. It's pretty cold outside. I've come from Mumbai, and I don't have hair on top, so you can imagine, how cold I feel. So I don't know. I just wanted to broadly understand because I was told now there's some case study that I'm going to present, but probably I will have a more of a my experiences. Just show of hands here, just to sort of modify my speak here. How many of you have like entrepreneurs here? Okay, writer. Okay. Uh, how many from brand side? The CMOs, CXOs? Yes, thank you. How many from agency side? Writer. Okay, fair enough. And I assume, the stalls here probably they like it or don't like it, but they are going to be listening to me. But um, welcome for my I don't know, speech should I call, or probably my discussion with you, all of you, right? So I'll be talking about the LS Digital Blueprint, crafting a global powerhouse through strategic acquisitions and aggregated excellence. Before I get into that, probably a brief introduction about me. A class of 93 IIT Madras, did my MBA and work with the software industry. Okay, that is way back. If I tell you, a few days back I was meeting someone, and when I talk about class of 93, it's like I don't know how many years back, 31 years back or something like that, right? Okay, so pretty old, but at the same time, we are a batch wherein we saw, light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, I hope you understand what I'm saying. The Indian economy was growing. My parents and most of us probably, came from lower middle class families, and they taught their kids, and they thought that they will do some well. And here comes, when I just got out of 93, here comes where we really thought that India is going to be really a big powerhouse, right? And we did miss, most of us, right, in the type of IT services companies which exist, and stuff that we have done. But also there's a story. Out of 37 people batch, 35 of us, okay, just after their BTech went abroad, right? Okay. Some of them are at Google, Meta, and cutting edge technologies, and probably building some great companies for American ones. Okay. But um, for me, and there's a story, we have to go back to 70s, wherein every day morning, I don't know how much you understand, but topology of Mumbai, but I come from an area by the name Dadar, a very middle class Maharashtrian dominated area. My dad used to work with Bombay Port Trust, which is a few steps from Bombay Stock Exchange, right? For some crazy reason, okay, every day morning when he used to wake me up, okay, he will talk about some company, how they have done, how the profit has grown, some good stuff about economy, and that is how I grew for many years, right? And one thing that I thought is that one day, one day, okay, uh, I will build a company and I will do listing in on Bombay Stock Exchange. Okay, so that remains a basis for me. What I am going to talk to you today, okay, we are around 1,200 people company. Whatever, though they have said some great stuff here, but it is work in progress. Okay, it's work in progress. Miles and miles to go before I sleep. Okay, I also have understood is that as we start, when we were small, 100 people, 200, 300 people, what we had always is a great amount of agility, right? As you start growing, okay, you start compromising on agility, and probably you start fighting against some of the biggest, right? And there are types of problems that you come across are humongous one. Okay, so it's work in progress, miles and miles to go. But nevertheless, I can share my story, and I'll keep some 10, 15 minutes at the end of it, probably for some of you to ask question to me too. Okay, but what's the problem that I'm trying to solve? Is something probably I will talk about, because after working for almost 12 to 13 years in IT services company and trying to solve the problems of my customers. Stayed in some of the, being the IT services company, got an opportunity to work with some global clients across different big markets, okay, US, UK. I was in Australia, okay. So there's a lot of learnings in terms of, how to understand the customer problems and probably try to solve those, right, okay. So somewhere in 2006-ish, right? Or before that. What I thought is, so I was working with one of the large IT services company, and my friend called me from my classmate, batchmate, wingmate, and he also sits on the board now with LS Digital. He called me and said that he's acquiring a Oracle Apps implementation company in US, and would you like to join as a India head, right? Okay, I said, okay, fair enough. I'll do that, okay. And within 1.5, 2 years, we grew that company and sold, and I made some money on that, right? So that was my first taste of how to get something and probably make it big and try to make some money out of it, right? Uh, how many of you have read this book, Alchemist? Right, okay. So, there are, every 2 to 3 years, I read that book and try to sort of match things up there, right? So, at one point, I thought, okay, fair enough. You have got some money in your pocket. You can live some life good. Work for someone else. Life is easy. You don't have to worry. If you have some problems, then probably resign and go to somewhere else. So, I put everything on the table, right, and said, let me do something, okay. At that point of time, the I got a call. Sometimes it's I'm using now since it got reminded of Alchemist. It's written sometime, right? Okay. So I was thinking about it, and a phone call came to me and said that, there is a friend's friend who was running a D2C site. Now, ये सब words अभी आते हैं, but he was selling Dyson on a website, right? And he said, Prasad, can you set up a back office? I said, wow, okay. I was thinking of starting some SAP implementation company or something like that from Oracle Apps. And then I decided to say, okay, I'll set it up for you. Then after a few months, he said, oh, Prasad, we do around £500,000 a month. Okay, can you solve advertising problem for me? I said, okay, let me say that. Started reading Yahoo ads and Kelkus. I don't know whether they exist or not now, but comparison engines at that point of time. One thing led to another, and now we are a 1,200 people company, right? Uh, uh, but you know what? Somewhere the basic principles of understanding technology is a part of me, because being an engineer and then probably working for formative years of my professional career with IT services, what remained with me is that how technology can be used, okay, for solving the problem. So you have to choose the worthy problems, okay, and the worthy problem that I thought is how to use digital as a catalyst for a growth, right? Okay, how to use digital as a catalyst for a growth, for the growth of the company, right? Now, whoever you are, whichever place that you are, starting from you and everywhere, you will see this animal in a very different way. If you come from a media background, you'll say, give me X amount of crores of rupees, I will do a great media planning, I'll buy media, and your brand will grow, right? You'll say that, right? If you are from product background, you would say, you know what? Let me add some features well. Let me have the UI UX well. Okay. Let me remove the friction, and I can get you a growth. Fair enough. If you are from a very creative mind, you say that, let me identify a white space in the consumer's mind. Okay. Build some great positioning around it, great creative, and a brand will happen. Right? Okay. If you are from a data science and data perspective, you'll say, oh, okay, let me understand the consumer well, put the whole data stuff well, okay, and probably do some stuff and understand and help you to grow, right? Fair enough. If you are from customer experience perspective, okay, you would say once a consumer becomes unknown to known, okay, may it be putting down his cookie to giving his mobile number or a email ID. If I am able to create an experience, I will squeeze more of the customer and I will grow. Fair enough. That's what it is. And now probably is the tech part of it. Okay, give me a humongous amount of technology budgets. I'll do some magic and I'll grow. Okay, so these are the 6 areas I could identify, saying that these are the 6 areas that a brand has to be working together with across. Okay, now it is very easier said than done. Okay, so which are the areas? Media, UI, UX, creative, data and insights, technology, and customer experience. These are the 6 areas, right? Now, if I look into client's organization, the brand's organization or a company's organization, these all 6 areas are with someone, different people. Something is with CMO, something which is some customer experience head, someone with something with CMO, something da 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 da. Okay, CIO, CTO, and some with CEO, and some. Okay. Now what happens is that the challenge lies in integrating all these areas. Okay, right? Unless you do that, things wouldn't happen. Okay, why this some of this uh, the new age digital first DNA companies do well? Because the founder probably knows, not probably, he must know all these areas so very well, so he grows things much faster than a traditional brand, right? Okay, so coming to that stuff is that we realize, okay, if that has to happen, I need to have skills, right? So we started calling it a digital business transformation framework. So what we did is that again, as a side comment there, okay, is that we became, from the media perspective, we became around 18, 19, we became one of the largest digital media agency, okay? And any network who's trying to consolidate, and I'm on camera, I know that, I would say that, any network probably is trying to grow, okay, there's a lot of acquisitions would happen, right? It's a very easy way to put things and, okay, and there are 2 big networks also came with us. I mean, they came to me, due diligence happened, everything happened, and there was an offer, and again the alchemist moment, where the last moment I decided to build it on my own because that IPO stuff that I had in mind, right? So went back. I had accumulated profits of many years. I hadn't taken a single rupee of dividend. Went and picked up my first, uh, I say that partner, though we have they have become a LS Digital Group, by the name Langur, a great CX company, right? More than 70 to 80% of their revenue comes from some of the global clients, right? A beautiful, excellent understanding of where creativity meets technology, right? Okay, so we acquired that. Along with that, 2 co-founders came, Venu and Girisha. Okay, I realized that I can do this, right? Okay, first acquisition, structured very, very different way, not the way probably networks do it. Okay, very different one, a combination of equity and some performance based on that, giving a good feel that one day we will go for an IPO, making sure that the cultures match, making sure that the founders, sort of rhyme with me or both of us, right? So that happened. Within 3 months, again, the lady luck smiled. We get an opportunity to pick up F1 Studios, a UX company. Now, if you see all these acquisitions, they have not happened for EBIT aggregations, okay? They have happened for what I talk about aggregated excellence, right? So F1 Studio came, again, more than 90% of their business came from UX, UI UX. When I say UI UX, they come from hardcore, NID, Bombay IIT, design, those sort of a background, right? The very core design understanding and design systems understanding, right? So they became an integral part. Again, that is a time, what I realized is that I needed, funds, right? Okay. So went to the market, picked up private equity money, right, in a very, very different way. I mean, I wouldn't be able to get in details about how I did it, but a bit of a different way of doing deals there, not a structured the way general structures happened, right? And it came from private equity. Matthew Syriac, a former big shot, and then he runs Florent Tree. Uh, uh, then the third thing happened is social panga, okay? Because in the whole digital business transformation, media, data and insights, we were very strong on. We got CX, Langur, we got UI, UX, F1 Studios. And then only remaining point that we had is probably some great, creative, someone who understands digital first creative as a concept. So Himanshu and Gaurav joined us from Social Panga, right? Okay, so that now completes the excellence part of it. In the process, I'll add how the acquisitions do happen also is that in the process, I was so sure, and I'm sure that I didn't want to dilute my equity and wanted to be the single largest shareholder, right? Did something called venture debts, right? So went to black soil and picked up debt there, right? And did this transaction too, right? So with this, uh, you know, um, of financial engineering, um very unique way of building deal structures. We had what we call the aggregated excellence in place, right? Okay, so that's a story. Now comes the challenges. Till now, everything, looks awesomely great, right? This is something happening. Revenue is growing, profitability was there. We could service our debt. We could, make our uh, investors happy. But what happens is my learning. Okay, I don't know how many. I mean, Murga is there. Probably he will be talking about it. I don't know. He's there, Bharat Matrimony, but I can't see him. But so what my learnings happened is here is you know the whole continuous growth, which has to be, and a B2B services company will never ever be, uh, can't have more than 25% of as a margin, right? Okay, as a profit, right? Okay. So that becomes, you have to really manage growth, profitability, together very well, right? And at the same time, set together compliance well. But again, that's not the topic of this one. But what are the challenges, right? What I realize is also is that the same challenge that we were saying that there's no one person in the client organization who could take a call on digital business transformation, right? Doing something all together. Uh, the first few months we tried to sell that, okay, but there were no takers, right? Okay, so the strategy quickly changed and said that, how would you sell one vertical and then do cross-selling? Okay, so there's a humongous amount of, most of our people in all the four organizations come from verticalized experience, right? Okay, so their understanding of different verticals was always a challenge. Okay, so first we had to go back and, train them well, put together different structures and do it. I think I would not say I'm 100% successful in that, but reasonably successful in last one quarter. Okay, so I could do that. So that's another challenge. Third one we says is that you may be having great skills. How much time I have now? 7-8 minutes. 7-8 minutes, right? Okay. So what I realize is that great skills, okay, also needs to have, ways to sell in a different distribution model, right? Okay. So and some of the market that I was looking for, because Indian market is, see, dependence, if you are looking for a continuous growth, probably 50% year on year with profitability, our ability to find different markets was very critical ones, right? Okay. Early learning there is that we went to UK, we hired very senior person there, but we realized quickly is that every market needs to have local presence. Okay, so what we did is that we started building a lot of big partners. So I mean, I wouldn't be able to take the names on the camera here, but some of the big consulting firms in Europe, okay, we are the back office for them, right? Okay, so started some revenue happening there and skills starting getting building. But my understanding happened is that you need to have local player. Okay, so around 2 quarters back, we acquired a rather joint venture in a way. The right term is that, but with a consulting firm in New York. Okay, Fearless, and then we are calling it Fear Dash LS, right? Fearless. It's a play on the name. They were fearless. We said Fear LS, right? So that's a good experience, okay, because that gave a quick entry for us on the East Coast with our skills, right? Okay, so that pretty working. So some of the challenges are there, some of the challenges that I am fighting, but this is where I am, okay, in the midst of lot of change, training my people, uh, building new systems and building new products. Now, another thing is that the whole AI is, redefining the way we are building our service products and, working onto it. If anyone is around here that I can talk about it, the whole around 1.5 years back, if some of you see my LinkedIn profile, I had already started talking about agentic AI and what it can be worked on, some early projects that we picked it up on that, and selling on that, right? So work in progress, uh, बहुत करना है, okay, but IMA asked me to talk about where I am. I wouldn't call myself as a success at all as of now, okay. All my good wishes, and I think hopefully they will help. But this is where I am. I don't know whether I did justice to this 15, 20 minutes. Talk about my dream, talk about, the path that we have chosen, the choices that we made. I also talk about the challenges that we have, okay. Learnings are umpteen, okay. I can speak about it throughout the day, about what to do and what not to do, from finance to operations to integrations to, marketing to sales to everything, okay. Yeah, but I think one thing that I can talk about is that boy in Alchemist, okay, it keeps reminding me every 2 years, 3 years I read it, and every time sort of I resonate with it. There are multiple times I put everything on the table and lost it, and hopefully I'm dramatizing it, but entrepreneur's life is not that easy, okay. So that's all about from me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, guys.